Iceland, a nation in the heart of Northern Europe, is one of the most surprising countries in the world. You may have never heard of it, but here's a fact that will leave you speechless. Iceland is one of the few countries on the planet that doesn't have permanent armed forces. No army, no navy, no air force. And still, security is unbelievably high, an almost inexplicable phenomenon. How is it possible for such a geographically isolated, vulnerable country to remain safe without its own military? The answer lies in a unique civil defense system and close cooperation with allies like the United States and NATO. But what stands out the most is the Icelandic people's trust in their own security. Here, crime rates are virtually non-existent, and the sense of safety is palpable. People walk the streets without fear, children play on their own, and everything seems to function without the need for a military structure. But how does such a small country, with a population of just over 300,000, maintain this stability? In today's video, we will explore Iceland, a country where security is one of the pillars that sustain a fascinating and unique society. We'll understand how it's possible to live in a place where, instead of soldiers, the focus is on a civil force and a system of mutual trust. Get ready to discover one of Iceland's best-kept secrets. Iceland is a true geothermal paradise, a land where nature not only beautifies but also sustains everyday life. In a world grappling with the challenges of climate change, Iceland stands out as a leader in renewable energy. What's the secret behind this impressive sustainability? Geothermal energy. This is a country literally heated by its own interior, using the depths of the earth to generate most of its electricity and heat its homes. Imagine a place where underground heat not only warms buildings but also keeps the streets snow-free in winter, and even supplies the hot springs that attract tourists from all over the world. Over 85% of the energy consumed in Iceland comes from renewable sources, with a focus on geothermal and hydropower. The country is a shining example of how a sustainable energy system can not only protect the environment, but also improve the quality of life. And when we talk about geothermal energy, we're talking about an abundant natural resource that Iceland has learned to use in a unique way. The underground heat isn't just used to warm spaces, but also to fuel industries like fishing and tourism. It's a cycle that goes beyond energy. It's a way of life that shapes the Icelandic economy and society in a sustainable manner. Furthermore, Iceland has become a global model for innovation in clean energy, attracting scholars and experts from all over the world to learn from its ecological approach. And it doesn't stop there. In a country where nature is at the center of everything, renewable energy is more than just a smart choice. It's an extension of the national identity. Iceland is a country where the land is alive. Literally. Here, active volcanoes and towering glaciers coexist, creating a unique landscape on the planet. In one place, you can see the fire from the volcanoes melting the ice from the massive glaciers. And this interaction between opposing elements is what gives Iceland its nickname, Land of Fire and Ice. This scenery isn't just a natural wonder. It also shapes the life of Icelanders, their culture, and their economy. Iceland's volcanoes are so active that in 2010, one of them, Eyjafjallajökull, erupted and caused global chaos by disrupting European air traffic for weeks. This event demonstrated the power of Icelandic nature, but also how the local population adapts to this constant risk. In Iceland, volcanoes are not just frightening phenomena. They are part of daily life, bringing not only challenges but also opportunities. The fertile lands around the volcanoes are used for agriculture, and the geothermal heat coming from them contributes to the country's energy supply. On the other side, the glaciers, with their frozen vastness, form an impressive contrast. The famous Vatnajökull Glacier, for example, is one of the largest in Europe and covers almost 10% of Iceland's territory. These glaciers are not only beautiful, but also play a crucial role in the local ecosystem, feeding rivers and helping to regulate the region's climate. They are also the setting for some of the most thrilling tourist adventures, such as glacier hikes and snowmobile rides, which attract visitors from all corners of the world. This duality between fire and ice between the violence of nature and the serenity of the landscapes, is what makes Iceland such a unique place. When you walk through this country, you're not just seeing a land of contrasts, but also a land of human resistance and adaptation, where natural forces shape everything from architecture to cultural traditions. Iceland is not only a natural paradise, but also a model of equality and female empowerment. Icelandic women are globally recognized for their strength, independence, and of course, for their unique beauty, which reflects a Nordic and Viking heritage. Their strong features, with a fascinating mix of ancestral influences, are just the tip of the iceberg. What truly distinguishes Icelandic women is their role in society, where they enjoy equal rights in all aspects of life. Here, the fight for gender equality is not a thing of the past, but a central aspect of Icelandic culture. Iceland was the first country in the world to elect a woman president, Vigdís Finnbogadóttir, in 1980, and has since remained at the forefront of gender equality, with public policies promoting parity in the workforce, politics, and education. Icelandic women have access to work and educational opportunities on the same terms as men, and the country prides itself on having one of the highest female participation rates in the workforce in the world. Additionally, Icelandic women are famous for their active and healthy lifestyles. Many of them engage in outdoor activities, such as hiking in nature trails or swimming in the thermal waters, taking full advantage of the unique landscape Iceland offers. This connection to nature is not just a form of leisure, but also a reflection of a balanced and mentally healthy lifestyle. If there's anything that defines Icelandic culture beyond the lush nature, it's the tradition of geothermal swimming pools. Iceland is world famous for its hot springs, and they are much more than simple tourist attractions. They are an integral part of the local way of life. Imagine relaxing in a hot water pool, surrounded by stunning landscapes of lava and mountains, while the cold wind cuts through the air around you. This is the kind of unique experience Iceland offers to its visitors. Iceland's geothermal pools, like the famous Blue Lagoon, are true wellness centers. The water, rich in minerals, not only provides therapeutic benefits, but also creates a social environment where Icelanders meet to relax, chat, and recover from daily stress. For Icelanders, these pools aren't just a place of leisure, but also a constant practice of self-care and socialization. Almost every town or village in Iceland has its own thermal pool, and they are so popular that they are part of the daily routine for many people. Bathing in hot water is a tradition that dates back centuries, and these pools, with naturally heated water, reflect how Iceland has learned to use natural resources in a practical and healthy way. But what makes the experience even more special is the contrast between the warmth of the hot springs and the freezing cold that often dominates the surroundings, especially during winter. It's common to see people immersed in the warm water even when snow falls around them. This interaction with nature, blending relaxation and resistance to the cold, reflects the very resilience of the Icelandic people. The hot springs also play a fundamental role in the health of Icelanders, helping to alleviate muscle and joint pains, and even respiratory issues. Additionally, the simple act of being in contact with nature while enjoying a warm bath has deeply restorative effects on both body and mind. In Iceland, summer isn't like anywhere else in the world. During June and July, the land is bathed in a phenomenon that goes beyond mere curiosity: the midnight sun. In some parts of the country, the sun never sets, creating a continuous cycle of light that lasts for weeks. The feeling that the day never ends is one of the most fascinating aspects of life in Iceland, and it completely alters the rhythm of daily life. This phenomenon occurs because Iceland is situated north of the Arctic Circle, meaning that during the summer, the days stretch to their maximum, with the horizon never truly darkening. In Reykjavik, the capital, the sun sets for about 3 hours but never fully disappears. Further north, in places like Akureyri, the sun doesn't set for several weeks, creating a unique experience. This prolonged period of light influences not only the behavior of people, but also the nature around them. Plants and flowers bloom with impressive intensity, harnessing solar energy to grow rapidly and in great numbers. For Icelanders, The midnight sun is a celebration of life. Summer brings a different energy to people who make the most of the long hours of daylight. Outdoor activities become more intense, with people hiking, cycling, or simply relaxing in parks and along the coast, enjoying the warmth of the sun that never fades. It's a time of festivals, events, and a true connection to nature. However, the midnight sun can also have a psychological impact. The human body isn't used to living without the natural alternation between day and night, which can affect the circadian rhythm, causing sleep disturbances. This can be a challenge for some, but it also becomes a unique experience of adaptation and resilience. When winter arrives and the sun disappears almost completely, the contrast is even more intense, creating a cycle of light and darkness that deeply marks the lives of Icelanders. Iceland is a place where the past and the present meet at every corner, especially when it comes to its legends and folklore. While the country is known for its modernity, its history is deeply marked by myths and folklore that continue to influence daily life. One of the most fascinating aspects of Icelandic culture is the belief in the huldufolk, or hidden people, which are actually elves and trolls. Many Icelanders still believe that these supernatural creatures inhabit the stones, mountains, and more isolated areas of the country. For many, these legends are not just fantasy stories, but a vital part of national identity. The idea that elves and trolls live in harmony with nature reflects the deep respect Icelanders have for the land and the invisible forces that shape their environment. In fact, in some parts of Iceland, when new construction projects are planned, concern about the possible presence of these beings is real. There are stories of contractors who, out of precaution, alter their work to avoid destroying stones or areas considered sacred by those who believe in these beings. The legends of elves and trolls are not just beliefs of the past, but continue to be a living part of Icelandic culture. In some areas of the country, it's possible to hear stories passed down through generations, where children grow up listening to tales of encounters with invisible beings or places where magic happens. Even tourists can be enchanted by these stories, which are shared on tours through natural areas, such as lava rocks and caves, places that for Icelanders hold great mystical significance. Iceland, though one of the most isolated countries in the world, has a vibrant and influential cultural scene, especially when it comes to literature and music. In such a small territory, with a population barely exceeding 300,000, Iceland's cultural impact on the global stage is impressive. This phenomenon is no accident, but the result of centuries of deeply rooted literary and artistic tradition in the country's history. Let's start with literature. Iceland is famous for its rich literary heritage, which dates back to medieval times. The Icelandic sagas, great epics that narrate the adventures and conflicts of the early Viking settlers, are one of humanity's greatest literary treasures. These ancient texts written in Old Norse are fundamental to understanding Nordic history and culture, and are still read and studied worldwide. But Icelandic literature didn't stop in the past. Halldór Laxness, the only Icelandic writer to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, is a central figure. His novels, such as Independent People, explore themes of identity, social struggle, and modern man's conflicts, and continue to inspire writers all over the world. Music also plays a vital role in Icelandic culture. One of the greatest icons of contemporary music, Björk, was born in Iceland and became one of the world's biggest names in music. Her innovative career, with her unique style blending electronic, classical, and folk elements, made her a cultural ambassador for the country. Another big name in Icelandic music is the band Sigur Rós, whose ethereal melodies and lyrics in Icelandic and an invented language have captivated fans worldwide. The Icelandic music scene is marked by impressive sonic diversity, where genres like rock, experimental pop, and classical music coexist in a unique way, reflecting the creative and innovative nature of the Icelandic people. Icelandic culture is, therefore, a fusion of tradition and modernity, where the old and the new meet harmoniously. It's a reflection of Iceland itself, a small country with a big capacity to influence the world. And this deep connection to art and history is what makes Iceland not just a place of natural beauty, but a true hub of creativity and inspiration. And so, we reach the end of this journey through Iceland, a unique country where security, lush nature, powerful women, and a rich, vibrant culture intertwine to create an impressive society. From the fact that it has no army, to its renewable energy sources, its landscapes of fire and ice, and the legends that shape its history, Iceland continues to surprise and inspire. Now, I want to know your opinion. What impressed you the most about Iceland? The incredible security without an army? Or perhaps the midnight sun and the geothermal pools? Leave your comment below, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and activate the bell to not miss the next videos, where we'll explore even more fascinating destinations and curious themes from around the world. Your support is super important and helps us continue bringing quality content to you. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and see you in the next video. See you soon.